Hi, my name is Mindy Austin. I'm so excited to share where you can find records for your ancestors. In previous sessions, you've learned how to evaluate records and then incorporate that information into what you already know about your ancestor. You may be wondering, how can I find those records in the first place? Let's walk through a few ways that you can find records in the different homelands of your ancestors. It's important to remember that record availability will vary depending on the location you are researching in. Today we'll look at 3 resources that can help you find records. First, FamilySearch Historical Records. Second, the FamilySearch Research Wiki. And third, guided research. Let's first start by looking at FamilySearch Historical Records. FamilySearch Historical Records contains over 6 billion searchable records and images online. To get to the FamilySearch Historical Records, from the FamilySearch.org website, we'll go to the Search drop-down menu, and from there we'll select Records. On this landing page, you'll see 3 main areas, and each of these areas will help you to find records. The first one we'll talk about is Search Historical Records. Then we'll talk about Research by Location, and finally, we'll talk about how to use the Find a Collection and browse all published collections to find records for your ancestors. The first option for finding records is through the Search Historical Records window here. And you can type in the name of an ancestor and find what records are available on FamilySearch for that ancestor. This is great for generic searches where you're just trying to see what it's available, and then you can always narrow your search as you go. So I'm going to come in here and type in the name of an ancestor, Curtis Matthews Austin. And we'll go ahead and click Search. And I can always come back in and add more information, but it's good to start with kind of a broad search. And as I look at the top results here, I'm seeing records available for this ancestor. And if I click on it, I can then see the indexed record over here on the side, as well as viewing the original document. So this is a great option to find records through the FamilySearch Historical Records search. The other option is to go back to Search and Records, and we can research by a location. So this is great if you know the exact location that your ancestor is in, and maybe you know that they've only lived in one country, so records are only going to be found for them in that place. And that's helpful because it could help you to know exactly what ancestor you're looking for and not confuse them with other people who have the same name that lived in other locations. So for me, I want to look for my 4th great-grandmother, and she lived in Germany, and that's the only place she lived. So I'm going to research by a location. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to select Europe here on the map and then scroll down and click on Germany. And you'll notice that this brings me to a Germany research page. So I'm only going to be searching for indexed historical records in Germany. So it's filtering my results for me and will help me to find records for an ancestor in Germany. So I'm going to type in the name Carolina Magdalena Geffert. And I'm going to click search. Again, I can always add more information later, but let's see if this pops up information about my ancestor. And when I do, I see her name here up at the top, and this information matches what I already know about her in Family Tree. And when I click on this link, again, I'm able to see the indexed information over here on the side, and then I could view the original document for her. And this only showed me information that was found in Germany. So if there are any other Katharina Gefferts, maybe they lived in the United States or Switzerland, it's not going to show me records for them, only for entries that were in Germany. And that's going to help me to narrow it in and to find the record of my ancestor. Researching by location is a great option when you know the location where your ancestor was from, and so you can be more specific in where you're looking for records. Let's go back to the search and records, and let's look at Find a Collection here. This is a great resource when you know exactly what record you're looking for. So if I want to find my ancestor in, let's say, the 1940 census, I can be specific and just search for the 1940 census here in the search window. So I'm just going to type in 1940 census, and I can see the entry here, United States Census 1940. And then when I click on that, it's going to bring me to a search page for the 1940 census only. And I can type in the name of my ancestor and click search. And when I do that, I see all the entries that match or are similar to this name for the 1940 census. So there were 62 results. And my ancestor happens to be the top result here in the 1940 census. This information matches what I know about my grandfather. So as I click on this link, again, I'm able to see the indexed information over here on the side, and then I could click and view the original document. So that's another way to find records for your ancestors when you know what record you're searching for. You can also go back there to search into records, and you could browse all published collections. So this will show you all the historical records that we have available, all the collections for different record types for different places, and you could use this to kind of narrow down your search and look at different records by place or by date or by collection type. So if I was looking for the 1940 census, I could click on United States of America, and it would filter by place, and I could say I'm just looking between 1900 and 1949. And then I could say I'm only looking for census records. This will show me all the records that are available, and you can see that there's lots of state census records and voting records. And as I scroll down, I'll be able to find the United States 1940 census. So that's another way. But if you were interested in searching for voting records or a state census, here the Kansas State Census, you could then click on that link and it would take you to a place where you can put in the information about your ancestor and search just for Kansas State records. Those are 3 ways that you can find records through FamilySearch Historical Records, through the Search Historical Records, researching by location, or by finding collection and searching Browse All Published Collections. FamilySearch.org is not the only place that has records that you can find for your ancestors. There are many other similar websites. Ancestry.com, MyHeritage, and Find My Past are others that also have similar searching capabilities and records online. So look at these websites as other resources for finding records for your ancestors. The next resource that I want to talk about for where you can find records for your family is the FamilySearch Research Wiki. To find the FamilySearch Research Wiki, you'll go to the Search drop-down menu, and all the way at the bottom, you'll find Research Wiki. You'll see this large map here, and this will help you to narrow it down by the location in which you're researching. So the FamilySearch Research Wiki is going to have all sorts of different research links, records available, and resources for different locations and homelands for your ancestor. So let's go ahead and click on a location here. I'm going to click on North America and go to the United States. And from there, I'm going to click on Utah. And what you'll see here is it's going to give you resources specific to Utah United States genealogy. It's going to give you information here, getting started resources and research tools. But what I want to talk about is Utah online genealogy records. When I click on this, I'm going to get a large list of all the different records that are available for Utah genealogy. Now, the size of the list is going to depend on the location you're researching on and the records that are available for that location. But for all of them, it will be divided into sections based on the record types. So you can see here there are links specific to birth records for Utah. And you'll notice that if I click on this link, it will direct me directly to that page where I could then search the record. So I could come in here and I could search for Utah birth and death records. If I go back to the wiki page, there are also indications if a website requires a paid subscription for full access. And it'll tell me if it's an index or index in images. But this is a great resource to find records for your family and to know what's available for the place that you're researching. Now, if you look at this list and think, There are so many records. What would I search first? Where do I go from here? Well, that is just fine, because there is also another resource that I want to talk about called FamilySearch Guided Research. There is a link to the guided research over here on the side under Beginning Research. And if I click on Guided Research, it will take me to a Utah Guided Research page. Guided research pages may not be available for all of the homelands or places that you're researching in. And if you want to go to the guided research and see what's available, you can do that from the FamilySearch Research Wiki page, which was Search and then Research Wiki. Over here on the side, you can click on Guided Research. And from here, you'll see a map. The green locations are where guided research experiences are available. So you can see that in the United States, those experiences are online, and they're working on filling out more of these experiences. So those are in progress. So we know that it's available for Utah, and that's great. Now, say I'm looking for a marriage record for my ancestor, and I know that they were married sometime in the 1930s in Utah, but I don't really know what record would be best to find a record for them about their marriage. So the Utah Guided Research and Guided Research on FamilySearch is kind of like a tour guide. It's going to take you through a prioritized list of records. It's going to show you the records that are available that are going to be the best ones to search. And it's going to kind of hold your hand and walk you through the process, which is great when you're getting started and need a little help on finding what records to search and where to search them first. So I'm going to go ahead and click on marriage record. And it says start here if you're looking for a marriage index. So I can just click on this link right here, and it's going to take me right to this page, and I can see that some of the information is already checked, that it's going to have me search the Utah indexed historical records by type of marriage. So I'm going to type in the name of the couple that I'm researching and see if I could find a marriage record for them. So I'm going to type in Carl Gilbert Warnick, and I know his spouse was Clarice Brunt. And then I'm going to click search. And I know they were married sometime in the 1930s. And as this record pops up, I'm seeing an entry here for a Carl Gilbert Warnick and Clarice Brunt. And when I click on that, again, I'm able to see their indexed information, and I could view the original document. So guided research is so helpful in finding records for your ancestor, maybe when you know where the record should be or the location, but you're not exactly sure what to search first. Guided research will walk you through that process. In our time together, we've covered 3 main resources to help you find historical records for your ancestors. We've covered the FamilySearch historical records with the search historical records, research by location, and find collection. We've also talked about the FamilySearch Research Wiki, which can be found by clicking on Search and then Research Wiki, as well as FamilySearch Guided Records, which can be found from Research Wiki and Guided Research. These are great options and great places to look to find records for your ancestors, and I'm excited for you to try them out and to see what you can find.